Yo, hello YouTube. I'm Tiyo, Speedrunner, and I'm just recording a video here on a whim because I realized that a lot of people, when they want to improve, they ask for other help, or they're seeking for other threats and try to implement them or whatever you can do. But there's a easy and not that often talked about thing that can help you improve massively with speedrunning any game, or even in general doing any game you want to. Like if you play a fighter competitively or an FPS with a team or whatever, then it's more often for, especially in esports. But in speedrunning, I don't see it often, and that is just rewatching your own gameplay, even frame advancing it, and then see what could I've done better. And in this video, I want to talk about how you do this for speedrunning and what you can learn from that. Okay, so normally for analyzing, you need a bit of game knowledge, but not necessarily a lot. It depends on what you're analyzing. But even so, not with a lot of game knowledge, you can maybe realize stuff if you just watch a video. So I'm just gonna watch this room of my previous checkpoint gold in the first checkpoint of Resort, chapter 3. And if you just watch this, you would in full speed, you'd probably not notice what went wrong here, because that looked pretty nice, right? So we're just gonna go back to this, to the beginning of the room, and you could maybe watch this on like half speed, for example. And oh, maybe did you realize what was slow in that room? Even if not, then that's not that big of a problem. YouTube has a handy function that you can frame advance if you use period or comma. So I'm just gonna frame advance to the relevant point. So this was nice, this extended hyper, this dash, it was at the earliest point. But this climb jump here, right? The moment I am on this wall, I want to climb jump. And I'm just gonna frame advance here. And you see when I'm climb jumping here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm six frames on this wall without inputting a jump. And as Celeste is a 60 FPS game, that is a time loss of 0.1 second without that much trouble, because you can just buffer inputs before they happen in Celeste. So you can press 5 frames, you can press 4 frames before you hit this wall jump, and the climb jump will input on the first available frame. So I lost 0.1 here just by inputting jump late. And you would probably not notice that when just normally playing. So here I have my current PB where I analyzed this mistake, and this climb jump was way faster. So I can come back here and just frame advance this for you. So this is the first frame. So this is not the first frame of the wall where I climb jump. So I lost a frame here, but it was on the second frame. So way better. So I saved 5 frames. Just here, because I watched the video, I realized, wait, I'm climb jumping way too late here normally. So I should just try to input it earlier. Other things where it's maybe harder to tell, because in a short room, you can just time the whole room and just try to do everything faster and see if it works. But for example, in a longer room, like this one, you maybe would not realize it. You would just try to hit this thread here. But for very good times, you would want to try to optimize this part here. So this seems fine here, right? For an untrained eye. But the thing here is this, you lose a bit of height or bit of speed 12 frames after you jumped. So this is the first jump frame. And you notice I jumped here late. You could jump earlier here, right? You want to buffer this jump. So I lose 2 frames by jumping too late. But yeah, this is the first frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is the first frame I could climb jump here on the ball. 11, 12. And 12, that is the frame where I could the max frame before losing height and speed, like vertical speed. So this is, so I just want to climb jump early here because it doesn't hurt, right? So where do you think I climb jump here? This is the first frame, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the 10th frame. So that loses like 8 frames because I climb jumped too late. That's not something you can easily recognize if you watch this on full speed, because let's watch this on full speed. Like especially the buffer at the bottom and maybe even the climb jump. But if you go back here to my run, you see I climb jump way earlier here. I can frame advance this again. Let's see if I buffer this time. I still do not buffer. This is so sad. But at least this jump was way earlier. Was not perfect, of course, but it was still before the 12 frames are over, where the first jump input was. And that is what matters here. You just want to see and recognize mistakes. You can't always see them just from watching yourself the video. Like for example, if I go to a random room, like this room, when I go back here, you maybe will not notice any mistakes from just watching it. But if you then go back and frame advance, which is the whole point of this, you maybe will notice that, oh yeah, I could have maybe done this earlier. So I just go into the game, set a save state, and just try to do things earlier, which you maybe have not recognized you could do earlier. But it also helps if you have an input display like me, so you can just check and see if you just held left for or like any direction for too long or the wrong direction, or if you pressed jump too early or too late. But make sure you notice what the input delay is of the input display, because it mostly has a bit of input delay, so it isn't always that accurate. So just a short disclaimer on that part. But yeah, I hope you like this video. If you do, then leave a comment or subscribe. If not, then just tell me why or not. I don't really care. But yeah, see ya all, and have fun with analyzing your runs. Goodbye.